Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for taking the time to come here this afternoon and to be here for the family. We're going to go ahead and get the services started here just a little bit early. They were scheduled to start 3 minutes from now, so we're good. So in talking to the family the other day and planning all of this, we decided for the service component anyway that we were going to do things just a little differently today. So in lieu of having a formalized service with a clergy person or a pastor here for that sort of service, we decided what might be nicer and more in tune with Richard's style, if you will, is to have more of an open floor sharing session. So what I'm going to do is kind of peer at you awkwardly with the hope that you guys might consider coming on up here, consider sharing a memory, a story, something of your life and times together, even something humorous to share with everyone. We'd love to hear from you, and we're just gonna, it just takes one, to get us started, and then from there we'll take it from there. So with that said, do we have a brave soul who might be willing to come up here? Come on up, John. We'd love to hear from you. Well, if you don't mind, John, not to belabor you, but we have it streaming as well. This way everyone can see better. For folks who may be watching it live or even watching it later. So you're going to be worldwide, Mr. Ellingsworth. Thank you.
Believe me, I never usually do this. This is probably the second time I've ever said anything at a service before. But Dick Sterling was that special a person, and I don't think the community knows how outstanding he was in his field of work. He was just unbelievable, the plants that he grew and the people that he helped out. Fred Wick back there, Carl from Y Nursery, and I don't know if Joey's here or not. Probably somebody from Angelica is here, but I think they'll attest to the fact that we had bought plants all over the nation, and we never bought any finer liners than what Dick Sterling grew. He had good family roots, but he had tremendous plant roots as well. It was just unbelievable what he did, and I was just so proud to know him and so proud to be able to do business with him and consider him a good friend as well. He was a fine, fine gentleman.
What an honor to say something about Dickie. Without a question, a very honorable person. We all lived on Long Island many, many years ago, and Dickie worked for us. He worked for Sterling Nurseries, which was his uncle, and then he came along and worked for Joe and myself at Wick's Nurseries in Long Island. About 3 years into working for us, I think it was 3 years or so, we bought a farm in Delaware. And Dickie came down and took and managed and grew the nursery unbelievably with almost no help. He was an unimaginable person. He just had the ability to do so much, and he certainly made our lives wonderful. And I can never thank him and his family. They're great people, and I wish them all the luck in the world, and I'm so happy I knew Dickie and Barbara and now Stevie and Richard. So wonderful, and I wish you all great luck in the future. But Dickie was a special person to many people.
Is there anyone else? All right. Mr. Sterling, did you want to come on up? Okay. Oh, I think we have someone actually. So please, thank you.
I don't know anything about plants or nurseries or anything like that, but I do know if I needed a dad, he'd be a great one. I had a great dad, and we had horses. We didn't have plants or trees or anything like that. But when we hit the road to show horses with the Sterling family, with Stevie in particular, I had a dad and a mom on the road, and I just couldn't bring myself about to call Mr. Sterling by his first name or even by his last name. It was always Dad and Mom. And so when we had a lot of miles over the years, when Stevie was a teenager, a young teenager and an older teenager into a young man before he went national and world level with his competition. And to have a set of surrogate parents on the road with us, it was just wonderful. He was everything a dad you would want if you had to be on the road with someone, and a surrogate family. And so I give that tribute to calling Mr. Sterling now. And to my knowledge, he didn't have any daughters either. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And I enjoy being that to them, and just having lots of laughs, and some serious times too. I know none of you experienced his temper, but he had a little bit of one. That's supposed to be a laugh, but you're all allowed to laugh at these things, you know. It makes it a little easier sometimes. But we had some good times, and with Renee too, and it was good to bring her and the family. And Richard, we had, before we got into these horses, with Richard in the mix, that was just high school times. We won't talk about those up here. But we had some good high school times before got to know Stevie and the rest of the family. But good times. And I'm just so blessed to have known them, and I know they're going to have many more blessings from the Lord to come as he takes care of them in these days, and that we don't forget them, because they're going to need us in these days to come come alongside them and to be praying for them and to be thinking of them.
So I did get to see that temper once in a while, just a couple times. He was sweet, but he did have a temper. So I wanted to thank everyone for sharing. That was just humbling to hear that. It's great to see everyone. This past week and today, I'm reminded of all the things I already knew about my father. He was kind, he's a good guy, he's honest to a fault, a wonderful person. He was always helpful. That's just some of the things. But, but just this morning, scrolling through Facebook, so it's got to be true, Willie Nelson, at the age of 92, said that the secret to a long life is to always be positive. Now, we all know Willie had a lot of reasons to be positive for, but, you know, most nurserymen, farmers, they have a lot of things to be negative for. But not my dad. He was pretty much kept positive on everything all his life. He was easygoing and positive. And I try to be that way myself. I don't think I'll be able to tell you everything that he meant to me. So I'd like to tell you a short story about his parents. I never knew them. His father passed away at age 31. Dad was only 7. His mother was 61. I was just 1 year old. And while going through some boxes and looking through pictures, we found a small ornate box. I recognized it, but I never knew what was in it or anything, never looked through. And we found some items that were his father's, you know, a belt clip or something like that with a W on it. And then there was a folded up piece of paper and a flyer for the Concourse Plaza Hotel. And this is up by Yankee Stadium, not the plaza, but at the time. So the piece of paper was a receipt for one night for Mr. and Mrs. R. Warren Sterling on October 5th, 1940. Does anybody want to guess how much the room was in 1940? No? No guessers? $5.50. 10 cents for a phone call. Total bill, $5.60. No tax, no nothing else, nothing. $5.60. So, my dad's birthday was July 22nd, 1941. Anybody do quick math? So I'm assuming that they kept the receipt from when my father was possibly conceived. But also inside the box was a small paperback book, The Sex Side of Life. So I think, like, they got married, mom and dad gave him the book, said, see you later. And it worked, I guess, I don't know. But, so on behalf of the family, I would like to thank everyone for coming, and it is humbling. It is great to hear all the stories, so I appreciate it, and we all appreciate it. Thank you. Mom does too. Thank you.
Well, folks, I hope that the opportunity for sharing stories and memories, talking to the family will continue in the days and weeks to come. One opportunity for that is next, as I have been asked to announce that everyone is invited back to Mrs. Sterling's home for a reception, where they're going to have refreshments and snacks and such for everybody. We assume everyone knows the address. Is that correct? It's 1575. That's right, 1575 Van Dyke Green Spring Road. Okay, folks, so with that said, again, thank you so much for taking the time to be here. We're going to have a general dismissal. Encourage folks to consider heading outside or even heading over to the farm. The family will be coming shortly. We're just going to give them some grace time and some private time here as we wrap up. Thank you again.